One of the most enlightening experiences of my life was to meet this gentleman here, Jerry Wexler. Jerry was vice president of Atlantic Records, and he had a love of muscle shows that was unsurpassed by a lot of New Yorkers. He came down here uh, and worked at first with Fame, with Rick Hall at Fame Studios, and eventually moved on to Muscle Show Sound when that company was formed, and brought the first act to Muscle Show Sound, which was Cher. Later on, I was able to work with Jerry, and among the other things that we did an album with Etta James. Etta James was a wonderful artist to work with. She was very demanding, to say the least, but she was also very fair. And one of the best experiences of my life revolved around her. Uh, she asked me one Sunday, we had a day off on Sunday, and she asked, would I mind driving her to Memphis? And I said, of course, I'll be glad to. And so we drive to Memphis, and it was a very unnatural situation because normally with Etta, if you got in a car with her, she started talking as soon as the door closed, and didn't stop till it was open for her to get out. But in this particular instance, she was dead silent the whole trip. And I took her to the Peabody Hotel. I drove up to the entrance, let her out, and I went to park um, the car. And by the time I got back to the lobby, she was no longer there. She'd gone upstairs. And then about an hour later, the doors opened, and Etta had a particular body shape. And all of a sudden, there's a silhouette of two people they're almost identical silhouettes. And so I go over there, and Etta introduces me to her father. And this is the first time she had met him. Uh, she, one of the highlights of my career was the fact that she introduced me as Mr. Perfect, which I really appreciated. Anyway, it turns out that her father was the pool player of Minnesota Fats, and he had known her mother in Los Angeles, and they'd never been married, and she didn't really know until her later life who was her father.